What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Hope everybody's having an excellent week. Day one of the NFL draft is come and gone, and Aaron Glint and Darren Muji got their first pick under their regime, and they had a lot of choices to choose from where I know Jet fans are going to be arguing about. Some wanted the splash and the sizzle. They wanted the firepower and offense. You wanted your Tyler Warren, your Ted McMillans, maybe defensive player Jalen Walker, or a different tackle, Banks Jr. But the Jets chose Armand Membo from Missouri, 21 years old, great athlete, physical, tenacious. And the approach I like from the Jets is let's solidify the offensive line, protect Justin Fields, give us a chance to establish the running game, and then we can build everything else outside of that. So I like the approach, to be honest with you. That's how you win in the NFL. You watch the Lions, the Eagles, the Baltimore Ravens. It starts up front. It's the heartbeat of your team. So in terms of what they liked in him, they talked about his mindset and his physicality, and now you're starting to understand what the Aaron Glint's play like a Jet mantra is, and he wants tough, physical, bold dudes that are willing to do anything it takes to win, and that's really important. It could be a culture change in some sense, but having him and Olu as your bookend tackles is a great scenario. Some people are, I understand people are upset about Tyler Warren. We're actually loving went ahead of him, but there's still a lot of players available in day two, like tomorrow, or it's actually tonight probably. You got Mason Taylor, Elijah Rojo, Luther Burden III, Jack Besh, Jaden Higgins. So me personally, I like to get that playmaker in round two, a pass catcher, an explosive guy. And I don't think that, if you have to trade up, but get these guys. But there's also some really good edge guys available too. So that's going to be interesting to see what their approach is. But to me, solid day one. I mean, I'm not going to give draft grades, but the one thing we got to keep remember, it's the sum of all the parts. You're not evaluated on your first round pick. You're evaluated on your entire draft class. So you got to see how the whole thing plays out. There were some rumblings about a potential Breece Hall trade, which I understand the notion behind it, where Breece Hall last year was contract and everything else. But to me, it's like, what team is going to give up draft compensation and a big new contract to him when you can just go draft a guy and see what happens? So the cost doesn't really make sense to me. I can see why the Jets would want to do it if they can get a decent deal, but I don't see why other teams would want to do it, especially at this stage. That's more of a conversation for the trade deadline. So we'll see what happens over the rest of the weekend. As the picks come out, we'll break it down, but encouraging start, build a line. I wouldn't be surprised to work on the defensive line as well, and we'll see what happens. Talk to you guys later.